Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are working on the ARRMA Infraction 4x4 MEGA Resto-Mod. We picked this up a couple weeks ago, and MJ's run it a couple times. We've just decided that it's not that fast. Sure, stock right out of the box, even with the 2S LiPo, instead of the nickel metal hydride, it does about 20 miles an hour. It's not very exciting. It does some donuts, and it drifts a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So we're going to go with the same system out of the Vendetta. We're going to go with the 100 amp ESC, and we're also going to go with the 3900 kV Spektrum motor. So we're going to put that guy in. We're probably going to do the Hoons tires. We're going to throw those guys on there. So let's get into the truck. It's a telescoping drive shaft. Goes on a splined unit up in here. So, but with this center bearing too. There we go. So I'm gonna pull that out first. There you go. Always use the right tool for the job, which the right tool for the job is whatever tool you have closest, in my opinion. Inside here, push that piece to the side, just like that. So this whole unit comes out, the whole center diff there. Just pull up on this, making it looser. There we go. Anyway, so we're gonna keep pulling on this. So, you got your cables here for the motor leads. They are important. Again, if you're not gonna use the motor again, don't worry about it. All right, guys, so back here to taking the motor apart, slipper clutch, center differential. We're gonna take these pieces out so we can put them on our new motor mount. So get this out of here. It always helps. So there's my little snap piece here. All right, so again, like I try to keep bolts in there. This is just going to come apart. Center differential part, and so you got a slipper clutch here. Teeny little pin came out of there. That pin's got to go back through that hole again, but you use tweezers to get it out, which I'm actually going to use tweezers here probably in a second. And again, you just make sure tips of your tweezers are clean, so you're not touching anything. So I'm gonna pull this assembly. I can get you back in focus here. This assembly off here. So here is our old gear, and here's our new gear. I'm going with a little bit smaller gear for the newer one. Again, this is all out of the Vendetta system. So your motor's on this side right here with your pinion gear. Your pinion gear is going to go on here, and we are going to do a 20-tooth pinion gear. There's a flat side on this. It's a flat side on this gear. It's a flat side on the shaft. So you put that on there. We're going to go over all that because you have to Loctite certain things before you do that. That goes on there. This goes on here. This is your mesh in between here that we'll set later. Slipper clutch and everything builds on here. So anytime you can get aluminum onto things on an RC car connected to the motor or the ESC, it's going to dissipate heat. There we go. Ammo. We'll get it a little bit loose so we can move it around. Now we're going to go with the pinion gear. Right here we got a little grub screw in there. You guys can see that. Teeny little guy right there. So you want to take that out, and we're going to put a little Loctite in there. So just going to put it in. Again, to go back just a little bit. You can watch what I'm doing here. There we go. Listen for that click. So we know it's in there. It hasn't gone all the way through yet because I'm looking through the hole here. All right, so now you can stick it on the motor here. Okay. So as you see, you bring the tool in here, the Allen in here. I do have a ball head on there. Again, so you can get a little bit deeper angle, because going at it from here, this piece is a lot higher than this piece here. So I can sneak in here better and tighten it up. You guys can see that, because if that goes much further down, I can't get the tool in there to tighten it up. We're good there. Yeah, you want to get as flat as possible right here. It's a little hard to see and hold it and everything at the same time. But that is about as flat as it can be. Now you can see that gear mesh pretty well. So we don't want it all the way in. We don't want it out like that. We don't want it crooked any other way. I can do this part here again. Loosen this guy up, loosen this guy up. That one wants to stick. Motor, so we're good there. All right, get this guy. Okay. It's not too tight, not too loose. Got the slipper there. All right, so we got that pinhole in there. This guy's going to come back up. Widen this back out a little bit, it'll be a little easier. Okay, gonna slide that back through the front. Get it back up through here. Actually, yeah, we can do this separate. It's gonna go right in between there in that hole. And that's got to go in there. That's gonna be held together with spring pressure now. So, do little pliers. So again, I'm gonna try to get this so you guys can see it easier. Okay, let's get it started in there. All right, so there's that there. So now I can just kind of push that together with my hand, and we're all lined up. Again, I'm keeping pressure over here to keep that all together. I'll take and get the screw on here, or the spring on there first. So keeping the tension on the spring there. I'm gonna put the nut on just so we can get it on there enough so that little pin doesn't fall out of there. Might help if I move to that guy. There we go. It's gonna ride right down in here. Again, clean off all your surfaces inside here, your bearing. Just make sure there's no dirt. There's your gear mesh. We got the slipper clutch in there. We got that all back and installed. We have our other bearing here. I'm gonna put that on the back of the slipper clutch. Now we got this, we got the back, we got the front, and we're gonna put it all back together again. So we got our 3 screws from before. Got 1, 2, 3 there. And that goes back together there. You want to make sure everything goes down evenly. You don't want it cockeyed like that. You will start to break stuff. So, there we go. Just going to screw this down. We went back and tightened all those up. So now we have our assembly with our motor, with our windings, pointed in the right direction. We're up and out this way. There's your pinion gear inside there. Pinion gear. It's right down in there. That's going to match up to your spur gear. Oh, that's again why I had the wires so far this way, because I know I'm going to be putting a fan on there. And I could have probably mounted the motor just one more notch the other direction, but this will be fine. So I'm going to turn the truck around this way. So you got your grooves right here, and you got a groove right there. It's going to go into that slot there and that slot there. Pretty much have all the stuff on the bottom. So I'm rotating the tires. Now I have the spline straight up again. So, well, it's kind of straight up. And this is kind of straight up. So let's try this one more time. Boom. Just like that. That was all magic right there. Remember, we have this groove here, this groove here. There's gonna be 2 grooves underneath here. So you got that groove and that groove. I'm pulling from over here, not the motor. Pulling from the side of the chassis over here, and I'm just gonna push in and down there. That locked in. So we're gonna flip it over now. Remember that one screw that I left right down here. We know that that goes in the bottom by hand. Why not? There is a nut on the underside of it. I can show you this here. There's this nut in the center. Oh, right there. So there's that nut in the center that you're going into. It hasn't popped out yet, but maybe as this thing gets more use, maybe it will. So I'm just going to stick my hand on the back of it. And again, like everything is just kind of tight. This brace, this is a absolute production. There's about 10 different pieces as far as I know that you have to get all these adapters, and it kind of works. I mean, it does work, but you gotta, took me about 20 minutes screwing this in, screwing that in, figuring how this goes here again. First ARRMA vehicle, so haven't done one yet, but figuring it out, and probably have to get again just a couple more screws, but we'll figure it out. All right, guys, getting back to changing out the ESC. Got one there, one on the other side. So just, now we got the receiver box. Just pulls off the top there. Nothing too crazy. Inside here, there's a little place to make it waterproof, this little groove here. Not too hard, we're just gonna unplug it. Alright, so we got the ESC. Plug this guy in here. It's right in the second port, and you can follow the colors. It goes gray, orange, black. So it's gonna do the same exact colors as the other one. Come on. Sometimes things cooperate and sometimes they don't. A lot of times they don't. Alright, there we go. Got that. Bring that down in there. You always want to make sure there's not too much tension on these wires in here so they don't get pulled out. That always helps. Put the receiver cover back on. Okay, let's see where this guy's gonna go. It's gonna go there. 2mm Allen. There we go. So that dimple right there goes in right there. Just gonna find a screw that bolts this in. We'll know if we bottom out. Stick that guy in there. Alright, so we got a power button and the set button. Little bolt style connectors here. Just bend them around. Plug that guy in. We're gonna do yellow next. Okay, we got the orange. Now we got to go through and program it. I did get the ESC Programmer version 2. Alright guys, long story short, next day, took a break, and I picked up this heatsink instead. It's the heatsink for the Vendetta. I think it goes on a couple other models, I'm sure. Anyways, I did have to take the motor back out from the motor plate, reset the mesh, slide this on from the other direction. Maybe in the future I'll do a video on that. So this is the heatsink, but you see it's much more substantial. The other heatsinks that you can buy from Intigi and some others, they're just halfway around instead of completely up front. You'll know from taking that off the first time. You got down here the output shaft. Get that guy over there. This bearing, if you just move it out of where it's going to normally sit, pull back on this, line it up with the splines back here. That's all in. This guy, and push that guy. Little O-ring it comes with. So taking that little groove on that side, little groove on that side, holds it in. This is the support that I added in there. It doesn't normally come with the Infraction MEGA. Alright, so it's the IC5 connector. So you will need an adapter if you do not have IC5 connectors on your batteries. So get this adapter. I'll put it in the link in the description below, but it goes IC5 to IC3. This thing I'm going to do is do the Smart Esc Programmer. So what I'm going to do is there's a little port here on the side. I'm just going to pull up on the wires here. I'll take that guy out like that. And then down here side, you're going to read, there's like a signal symbol and a plus and a minus. So that means the white is going to go on that side, the far side, and the black and the red on that side. So when I plug in our battery, that turn on your ESC. All right. So we're going to let it connect. You get the select button. All right, so we are going to use LiPo. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then go to the next. So punch level 5 comes out of punch level 3. So that's what it's at from the factory. So just up to 5. So I'm going to go to save. Then we go to next. So the brake, it comes out from the factory at 62%, but we ran it the other day even on 2S. It wasn't slowing down quickly at all. You know, if you're going full throttle and you let off, it just wants to keep coasting for a long time. So when you have it set to 100%, it's not like it just slams on the brakes after you do it, or after you let off the throttle, but it slows down a lot quicker. But you know, you can play with it and see what you like. I just did 100%. Hit save there. On to the next. Running mode, so forward, reverse, brakes. I'm going to save that. Next. Mode rotate, I just know it's counterclockwise, but definitely look that up. I don't know if they all run counterclockwise or not, but look that up. I'm going to save that. Restore default, no. Okay. So we're all good there. So now, I'm going to unplug this guy. And we're going to plug our connector back in there. There we go. For our fan. I did end up putting these guys down in here. The motor wires, I put them down in there. I might zip tie this down here eventually. There's a lot of cool things I want to do to this thing. This thing is awesome. Just running it on 2S outside, just for a few minutes, like I said, I mean, it rips with this new 3900 kV motor and the 100 amp ESC. It got a little warm. I ran it for about 10 minutes. It's only about 65 degrees outside right now, so it's not too bad. But as soon as MJ gets home from school today, I got 3 packs set up, so we'll go give it a run. Next time, sometime this week, we'll get it on the Hoons. These are awesome. They're off the Vendetta. I ordered some of those. We'll get that going. We'll probably get the cooling fan on it because I'm sure we'll get it heated up today. All right, guys, can't wait for you to see the rest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, too, if you guys saw anything in this video that you think, hey, you should have done it this way, or hey, try it this way, or this might work better. I'm all ears.
Well, I didn't know that was that.
Kind of fast, huh? Nice driving. Sparks? Would you melt the tires?
It's just water.
Oh, it hit some water?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it splattered all the way to right over there.
All right.